Hey, welcome to the Way of Valor. I am your host, Angie Taylor, and it's good to have you guys join me today. Today, I want to talk about how to land the job of your dreams and nail the job you're applying for. I am currently in the final weeks of a school year. This is the time of year every year that I take in applications. I'm starting to do interviews for the fall. And so we have countless applications for teachers, advocates, staff, auxiliary staff, all the things. And what I can tell you is this episode might be a little bit of therapy for me as well, as I have been busy combing through lots and lots of applications. But my hope here is if you're looking for a job to help you personally, some of the just very easy things to consider when looking for a job. But the secondary thing is if you have a student, a teenager, who is on his way out. Sorry, my lighting's a little wonky today. Who's on his way or her way out of your house, or they're looking for a job. These are great training techniques because, frankly, I'm a little bit surprised by how few applications I get that don't employ all of these strategies. And it would be the game changer between getting a meeting and an interview with me or not. So I just basically am going to talk you through some of the things that I hope you'll find helpful if you're in the process of looking for a job yourself, or you're trying to help your kids learn how to do applications, learn how to do all of the things. By the way, this is really helpful too if your student is applying for a college uh, if they're applying for anything. So let's get rolling. I don't anticipate this to be a very long episode, but I do anticipate it to be helpful. So, a few things. When you see a job posting and you're still a little bit murky about what all that job entails, whether you're interested in the job or not, go do your research. And by that, I mean, don't email the people offering the job and say, hey, can I have a meeting so I can ask you all these questions before I apply for the job? Because if they're anything like me right now, I'm in the state of there are a lot of applications coming at me. And if you're needing a meeting with me prior to even applying for the job, probably I'm not going to take the time to interview you right now because I have all kinds of other people who are ready to go. So understand that when you're looking at a job application and you're not quite sure whether it's something you're interested in, uh, go see, can you find the information you need online? Is it available anywhere on their website or anywhere online? If it's not available and you're thinking, I still might be interested in this job, take the time to go through the process, fill out the application, because then once you're in the door, if you get the interview, you'll have the opportunity to ask all of the questions that you have. But what I'm finding people doing right now is kind of in the process of, I'm not going to take the time to apply unless I know it's exactly what I want. The problem with that mindset is you're asking somebody else who's not sure they want you to take their time to fulfill what you need them to do. And it's you who wants the job. Does that make sense? So my recommendation, do all the research. If you don't find the information you need online, then go ahead and apply for the job if you think this is maybe something I want, because actually most interview processes include a section at the end of the interview where they say, do you have any more questions for me? And you're able to answer all those questions. That's the first thing. That's one of those things that we tend not to take on lots of extra questions or meet with anybody prior to applying themselves because of all the reasons I just said. So that's the first thing. Second, when you are filling out the job application, this is not a text to your grandmother, your mom, your friend. This is not a text message. You can see from some applications that people have gotten really used to texting and using both incomplete sentences and poor grammar. you would be surprised at how much you will stand out from anybody else applying for a job. And listen, I'm in education and I have teachers applying for jobs that are not using great grammar. So that's one of those easy things to set yourself apart. It literally takes you less than a minute to copy and paste any of your answers to your questions over into Grammarly or ChatGPT for free and make sure that your punctuation and your grammar is all on point. That's a super easy thing for you to do, costs you nothing, but immediately distinguishes you from someone else. Because I will tell you, if there isn't in the application process, when I see a lot of errors on an application, what it communicates to me as somebody who's looking to hire is this is the most care. This is this person putting their best foot forward for my organization. And if this is the most care they're willing to give to actually get the job, it doesn't get better. It's like a dating, right? Like it's kind of like the dating thing of you dress up really fancy for that first and second date and stuff, and once you get comfortable, then you move to the sweatpants. Well, we all understand that in the employee employer relationship that usually the best we're going to see of you is in the upfront application process. So if that is not on point, very rarely are we going to be interested in you, because we assume if this is the most care you're going to take on this process, it's not going to get better from here. So the spell check, Grammarly, ChatGPT, those are all easy fixes. That's number two. Number three, read through the application really carefully and make sure you submit everything that you're actually being asked to submit. Example of this is in our application process. We have a we ask for you to submit a video in our application process. Again, multiple people opt not to complete this step. And what I can tell you about that is, again, as an employer, I look at that and say, boy, if you're not able to follow instructions and do what you're asked to do, why would I believe that when you're employed by me, you would follow instructions and do what you're asked to do? So there's a disconnect there for you. So again, submit everything that's being asked, read through it one more, give it a once over. This is not something to rush, because I will tell you, you will set yourself apart drastically by doing these steps, like very drastically. Also, the last thing I have two more points, and one of those points is make sure that you follow up. You know, if you didn't hear anything from them, don't follow up and ask for a meeting, but maybe shoot an email. I'm really interested in your company. Here's what I loved about your company, and here's why I'm interested in your company. I would love to have an opportunity to meet with someone if there's time available. Anything like that, because again, as I would consider us a somewhat smaller company, we've received countless applications and we get buried. And so sometimes I'll see an application that I think, oh, that's a great application. And then because we are so busy and we get buried, that application falls off my plate as somebody I want to follow up with an interview. So somebody following up with me is often the reminder of, oh, that's right. I really liked this person. And now look at that. They're following up and they're very thorough. So follow up, not demanding a meeting, but saying, here's why I love the company and I'm interested in that. Do make sure when you show up online that you've researched the company, that you know the values of the company. Again, for us, we post our statement of faith and who we are as an organization online. And I'm always surprised by the people that will apply to work at our school, that what they're saying in their application doesn't align well with who we are as a community. Make sure that you are in alignment with the place that you are working, because that will also help you know, do I take the time to apply? And then finally, if you will come to the table with these are the gifts and abilities I have, how do I best serve this organization? I will tell you one of my number one turnoffs that I get is somebody that doesn't make any formal introduction in email with me, but emails me and says, how much does this job pay? I generally don't even respond to those emails. And here's why. It's not that needing to know how much a job pays is an inappropriate thing, but again, it communicates to me that your priority is not showing up and working in a company that has meaningful value to you and then can pay you for the value you bring to the table. You're communicating to me of I can be bought for a certain price tag. Do you have the right price tag for me? And I'm not interested in those people at all. Like that's not a fit for our community, and that's not because we don't want to pay our people well. We actually want to pay the right people really well. Uh, but shooting me a message saying how much do you pay with no kind of introduction or no, here's what I'm excited about your organization, also not a right step. I tell you all of this not simply to complain, although I do want you to know if you've applied and you're listening to this, this may be a valuable tip for you on how to best go about. And I don't mean that in a critical way. I genuinely want to help people because what I can tell you as someone who has done interviews and reviewed applications for years and years and years, it is not that hard to set yourself apart from the pack and get your foot in the door. If you will do these things, I can tell you you're setting yourself apart. They seem like I gave you 4 steps today. It seems like minimum 4 steps, but will help they're easy. They're actually very easy steps to take, and they will set you apart in a surprisingly quick way. Generally, people that do these 4 things, if they are bringing value to the table in a place that I need it, always get an interview with me. If they miss any one of the 4 things, they generally don't. So I would encourage you because I assume that other leaders are looking at similar application processes and it, the ones that do these steps always stand out to me. They always become somebody that I'm really curious about and interested in. So I hope that actually helps you today. This is a short little, kind of feel like it's a PSA for you, a little cathartic for me. If you are looking at applying for Valor, we definitely are taking applications, but please do follow the steps that are requested if you are really curious about getting an interview with us. I hope this was helpful for you, not just for Valor, but for any organization that I believe God's people should be excellent. I believe God's people should stand out in a crowd. I believe our kids, especially when you get younger kids that can take these steps, they stand out. A lot of our younger generation are from just the texting generation. And so a lot of times if you have a younger audience, they tend to write like they text. And so when somebody of my generation sees that, we're looking for professional quality communicators. And I do not know an organization that doesn't want that, no matter what you're applying to do. So making sure that you take a look at these 4 steps and apply them will help you in acquiring the place and job and be a part of the team that you're looking to be. Have a blessed day. If this helped you, send it to a friend or send it to a high school student or a college grad that you know that maybe is trying to get a job right now, because I promise you it'll make a difference.